So Ralph Scott was at Purdue in the middle of the week this week, which is a little unorthodox, unusual in recruiting. Now, I'm not saying it never happens, but a middle of the week visit is not the norm in football season. Usually in football season, you see these big weekend visits lined up, get the kid a credential, get him on the field, all that stuff. You have the whole team there, show him a good time. That's sort of the approach that every school takes. Certainly, Purdue in year one of the Barry Odom era even is taking. However, Ralph Scott, who is very quickly heating up as a priority Purdue target, was there in the middle of the week for a special reason. He has a trip internationally with his IMG Academy team, and Ralph Scott's an IMG kid. So he wanted to fit this in. Apparently, it was like a big deal. He could wait until after this international trip, or he could come in the middle of the week this week to Purdue and make sure that he gets that done ASAP. He did, by all accounts, from talking to a few people behind the scenes on the Purdue side, fact checking with my sources. Purdue feels really good about their chances with Ralph Scott coming out of this visit. It sounds like this visit was a home run from Purdue's perspective, and they feel that they are firmly in the mix. Now, who's to say if they are firmly in the mix or if they were firmly in the mix before this visit? I don't know. I think we could sort of lean on some of the national reporting that has been done. And I want to say, I think it was Travis Branham who had a write up on Ralph Scott earlier this week, maybe 2 or 3 days ago. You could probably find it if you search for it. But it sounded like his perception of the recruitment was that there was a top two for Ralph Scott before this Purdue visit, and that Houston and Tennessee were teams to keep an eye on. All I would say is this: we haven't seen like the national reporters update their lists. This visit happened like 2 days ago, but from the Purdue side, intel is that they feel they are right in there. If there's a top tier for this recruitment, Purdue feels they've done enough to have a serious chance. So we keep an eye on Houston, we keep an eye on Tennessee, we keep an eye on Purdue. But by all accounts, this was a special visit with special circumstances to elevate and get him in the middle of the week on his own before he takes an international trip. I don't believe you've talked Ralph Scott on the channel yet. I've had videos with Riley and Carter talking about him. I love this kid. So go wherever you want with this. If you want to talk his game or the nature of his recruitment, feel free. But talk some Ralph Scott with me.
I've watched you guys' video on Ralph Scott. I think you guys have all hit like what my points are on him. I love him too. I'm gonna go the direction of the recruit. Like with the recruitment, I'm looking at the recruitment, the visits he's had, the ones that are scheduled. This is very, very winnable for Purdue. And to me, this is a kid at the moment, he's a 4 star. I don't want to call him like a fringe 5 star, but like he's not like out of the realm of the 5 star possibility either. Um, this kid has an NBA game. He's the type of player you don't want a coach like Matt Painter to get, right? Like you don't want Matt Painter to get a guy like this and be able to develop him into something extremely special, which I do believe Paint would be able to do. And I'm looking at the other visits. Obviously, Houston is a big one, right? Like Houston's a big one. The national championship runner-up last year, constantly in the mix. But then you go down the rest of the visit list. He goes to Syracuse on October 17th. If I'm Purdue, to be straight up, I don't even think he makes it to that point. I think it's incredibly likely he commits before he ever gets to that visit. He had LSU September 10th, A&M on the 5th, and Tennessee on the 12th. I love my chances if I'm Purdue with that grouping. I think Houston's one you have to worry about. LSU's been in on him early and constantly there, but I don't think if I'm Purdue, I fear a recruiting battle with LSU. This is a big name. Paint's flexing his muscles recruiting wise at the moment, and he's pulling out the big guns. And to be completely honest, he has a shiny toy in Omer Meyer that he can flex to the 2026 recruits. Like, hey, you can come play with him, and he makes
Yeah.
guys better. And it's working.
Yeah. No, it is. I think so it was sorry, I think I said it was a Branham report for 24/7 earlier this week that Houston and Tennessee are the top two in the recruitment and keep an eye on if anything changes. Now, Ralph Scott had a lot of schools trying to climb into that top group. Texas A&M is another one he already took a visit to. LSU wanted a visit, but he canceled it. So He's supposed to still go to Syracuse. We'll see if he still takes that visit. But I guess one thing I would just want to say is it doesn't feel like a minor thing that Purdue was able to like maneuver a quick visit from him, right? Paint offered just recently. They've recruited him for a long time, but the offer was relatively new. And right after an offer, it feels like Purdue is the team with all the momentum here. Now, momentum doesn't always mean you get the kid, but it feels like the new shiny toy here is like Matt Painter's interest in Ralph Scott. I believe he was on this visit with his mom. And look, man, this is such a minor thing, but truly, Purdue's whole like visit setup where you get to hold the huge gold Nike swoosh is so sweet. Like I just want to like be on an official visit and get to do that one time. And Ralph Scott is one of the more, I don't know how you put it. This is going to probably sound stupid, but he's a pretty photogenic boiler. Like the same way people like taking pictures of like Miles Colvin soaring through the air, like Ralph Scott would be that guy for this program, and it would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a recruitment they can win. I think I don't want this to come off the wrong way. He has a different athleticism and swag than I think a lot of Purdue guys have had in the past, and I think he
Yeah.
brings a different like attitude to the team that I do think is necessary, by the way. And I think it's showing Paint, like if Paint's able to get Ralph Scott to commit between him and Omer, like I think it's showing Paint can coach a lot of different ways. You can be
Yeah.
the guy that comes in and you could be the 4 year starter who had to develop. You could be the 3 star guy, or you can be the 5 star kid from Europe who started on like a major, major European club, or you can be the 4 star guy, the fringe 5 star guy in Ralph Scott. It doesn't matter. I can get you to where you want to go. Um, I think that to me in this NIL era is the most important part of coaching. If you can only coach one type of player one way, I don't think you're going to last very long. And we've seen a lot of guys retire. Purdue fans have been adamant with all of us, Paint's going nowhere. The way he's moving right now, I think it's the biggest reason I'm starting to believe like Paint's not going anywhere.
More athleticism, more swag, huh?
Then yeah, I mean maybe not Jack Benter.
What do we mean by that? Like then you mean to tell me Ralph Scott has more athleticism, more swag than like Jacob Weber and Luke Ertl?
More maybe not Jack Benter. Maybe not Jack
Okay.
Benter.
All right. All right.
Maybe not Jack Benter.
If they were to get Ralph Scott, this would be my favorite Purdue recruiting class of the Painter era, which sounds crazy, but just coming in, that's how I would feel about it. This would be a ridiculous class.
Pre-portal too, man. Imagine you go into the portal with Scott, Omer, Jacobson.
Yeah.